Is it possible to cheat YouTube and get higher quality at 1080p? Can you trick it into thinking that a video is higher than 1080p, get a better bitrate, but show at 1080p for viewers? Yes and no. Let's take a look.
Are you tired of your streams or voice chats sounding like this?
Do you want the comfort and quality of high-end headphones without sacrificing microphone quality? Antline's ModMic 5 is the perfect solution. Their dual capsule microphone attaches easily and securely to your existing headphones and fits within any setup thanks to the modular cable system. It comes with a cable wrap to protect your wires, an optional inline mute switch, and sounds a little something like this. Check the link in the video description to learn more.
I'm EposVox, here to make tech easier and more fun, and today let's talk some more about render settings. There was a neat feature to YouTube's player back before the 1440p and 4K videos and even 60fps videos became popular and widely supported. It allowed you to upload high-resolution videos, mainly 4K, and the viewer had the option of watching the normal transcoded 1080p and lower formats, or watch in what it called the original format. It was then realized that you could upload upscaled videos at a resolution of 2048 by 1152, just a tiny bit higher than 1080p, so that no crazy upscaling would be required, just a little bit. But it was enough to trigger that original playback option to be enabled, and viewers could have access to a higher quality video. Many gaming channels took advantage of this for a while, which was fine. The problem is that most viewers don't pay attention to quality options in the first place, and mobile viewers, which make up the vast majority of YouTube views these days anyway, don't have access to most quality options either. So this was a neat trick, but it went mostly unused by viewers, and then once YouTube implemented the proper 1440p, 4K, and 8K quality selections instead of just original, it seemed like it didn't work anymore. So does this still work today? Sort of. I did some testing, and you can still upload videos in 2048 by 1152 resolution at a higher bitrate, and it does actually work. The YouTube player only shows the quality option listings for the closest relevant quality option. So things like 1366 by 768 would just say 720p, and something like 2048 by 1152 would just say 1080p. So someone choosing the 1080p option will be greeted with a much higher quality video file. And if you re-download the video with a proper tool like JDownloader 2, it gives you the original 2048 by 1152 resolution that makes a bigger file than just downloading a 1080p upload of the same video. And if you inspect the stats for nerds on the computer, it shows the full resolution is being played back as well. So you can technically do this, but that doesn't necessarily mean you should. 1080p is compressed to a maximum of 6 megabits per second by YouTube to make it accessible to as many internet providers and connection speeds as possible, so going higher than that can prevent people from even being able to watch your video at 1080p at all, whereas they might have been able to do so before. In fact, in my testing and re-downloading of the videos, the 1080p copy seems to have been compressed to 1.5 megabits per second, while the 1152p copy was about 3.3 megabits per second. That is double the data for basically the same looking video. That may be what you want though. There's also the issue of mobile. Some mobile devices seem to think the file is 1440p. My phone showed it as 1080p, but I have no way of knowing if it's the full resolution. There's no stats for nerds on mobile. But if it is displaying the higher resolution file, you're eating up a lot more of someone's data compared to other 1080p videos. And unlimited data is still mostly a myth these days. But there is a huge caveat here that prevents this from being all that useful to gaming content, some of the content most strongly abused by YouTube's compression. This does not seem to work right if you're posting videos in 60 frames per second. In my testing, the 1152p file simply transcodes to a 1080p 60 copy on YouTube instead of showing the higher resolution. And upon trying to download the highest quality copy with JDownloader, it gives me 1152p 30 or 1080p 60. No 1152p 60 at all. How curious. The same seems to apply to 768p at 60fps too. It's not a VP9 conversion thing, as my 30fps 1152p tests were all still AVC with the proper resolution showing up. So keep this in mind as well. The gaming YouTube scene certainly seems to prefer fluid frame rates to resolution and higher bit rates for better or worse. So can you cheat YouTube's 1080p option? Yes, you sort of can. If you have high quality source footage to work with, you can upscale to 2048 by 1152 and get a higher quality playback file on YouTube for now. Just keep in mind a couple things. A, it will take longer to render while upscaling, and if you don't set up your project and render settings properly, it could look worse. And B, YouTube's player and compression changes often, so when they make a change, they could wind up ditching the higher resolution option or showing it as a 1440p option and upscaling it or something down the road, which could make it look worse. So use this with caution. You want your project and sequence settings to be set to 2048 by 1152 in the first place, and if using Premiere Pro, check the maximum render quality checkbox when exporting, or the upscaling could look worse than the original 1080p upload would. I hope this has been helpful for you. Smash the like button, get subscribed, come check me out on Patreon, and I will see you next time.